How's it going, guys? Apparently, can you guys hear me? Let's check that. Let's clear that out. Can you guys hear me? Is it better now? I see some stuff going out to... There we go. I see some stuff going out into OBS. Yes, you guys can hear me. Yes. Guys, happy holidays. Whatever you're celebrating, how you spent it, have a good time. It's time to relax. It's finally the time in the season where I'm personally gonna relax. I don't know if it will ever happen. I had a really rough week last week. Well, actually, a really good but intense week last week when I flew to LA. After that, I had a couple get-together happening in my life when I came back. Came back on Friday and head out to the parties after shoving out a lot of snow of my driveway. If you guys, it's because I live both seasons in the same pretty much day. Friday I left LA. It was 20 Celsius, beautiful sun out there, like pretty much all the time. And came back to Montreal in a snowstorm with about 1.5 feet of snow in my driveway. So 45 to 60 centimeters for people in that live in the metric world. 60 centimeters of snow. Had to shove that out, get the car in. Did it. But yeah, I need to spend 2 hours every time I need to clean my driveway. So, anyhow, personal life aside, I hope you guys have a good time in the next week. The New Year's coming up. I don't know if I should say this, but new stuff is going to come up for the wing also in the new year. Expect some stuff happening really soon. Guys, stick around. You guys will be happy. Okay. How was your week? Do you guys had show? Patrick, I see you there. Don't spoil anything. It's my job to do it. Okay, let's start with the usual welcome. Everybody say hi to Patrick. You all know him. Rolf, good to have you back, my friend. Mr. Clark, Zahir Clark, good day. You have a few questions today? Go ahead. This is why we're here. Tony, happy holidays and upcoming new year. Happy holidays, upcoming new year to you and everybody else on the channel. Busy testing week, Patrick? I'm wondering what you're working on. Good to know that you're busy testing stuff. It's a really good thing. So, I will probably be busy testing some stuff too in the upcoming days or week. Actually, I still have a rough week ahead of me. I'm still have some people to visit for the holidays today. Some stuff to buy because right now it's the Boxing Day in Canada. Everything is on sale. So, gonna go out and buy some hard drive for my NAS. Guess I like to archive some stuff when I'm working on videos. So, have that. After that, it's gonna be up for me. Yes, I'm flying out. I'm flying out again, this time in the lovely country of Canada. I'm flying out to Moonbeam, Ontario for a new year event. I wish I could have bring the wing with me, but I have to bring the band X32. I don't know, maybe I'll vlog this. Maybe I'll vlog the worst, like, party ever that I can have in the middle of nowhere, Canada. It's probably gonna be fun. Okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not gonna be a bad party, it's gonna be fun, but it's not gonna be a lot of people. I'll be in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, basically this is it. It's not nothing fancy, nothing, just another usual day at the office, and I will try to bring you guys along. I'll ask the band if it's fine if I'm filming a lot of stuff. because I never film, I never vlog with these guys before. So if it's fine with everybody, I'll bring a camera along, because we'll be flying in a small plane, driving a lot, then do a show, then driving a lot, flying in a small plane, coming back to Montreal. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen with that. Maybe I'll bring you guys along. So, welcome to everybody who don't usually have the time to be here. I was expecting today to see a lot of new faces. How many people are we? We're 12 right now. I was expecting many people to join in, because we're not usually live when they can join. Now, most of the people on Earth is probably on vacation right now, right? Most of the people that work in office and stuff like that, probably all the church shows are done today, or everybody just woke up from a hangover. Welcome, if it's your case. Please get better if you're on a hangover. I like you guys to be in shape. I like you guys to be sharp. Okay, enough of me yapping around. Jonathan, welcome. Happy holidays. It's time for question. Mr. Clark, you had some question. Starting off first with the first question that you have is, so my church bought a wing in May. We took it out of the box and installed it in July. We have the system on UPS. The wing 2 weeks ago started to ghost touchscreen. What can we do? First would be to open up a ticket with Behringer. Your console is under warranty. If you bought it in May, you're within a year, so it should be under warranty wherever you are. Apparently, I have no information about that. From what I'm reading on forums and on Facebook, turnaround time for bad touchscreen is getting really, really smaller. I know in the States, some people report that they had their console back within 10 days, so you probably gonna lose it for 2 weeks. And you have a brand new touchscreen on your console. So, yeah, that's a procedure that you need to go through. You need to, yeah, sad face, Patrick. We don't like bad touchscreen. Yeah, just send it back. X32 X32 Compact will do the job. As long as you don't get the producer. The producer is a really bad choice because it doesn't have any LCD display on the fader, so you have to know exactly where you are, select the channel to know, is it... No, I don't like it, the producer. But the Compact will be a good option. Maybe if you don't want to spend too much money, try to rent an X32 like for 2 weeks. It could be cheaper for you to just rent one, like ask somebody for a good deal while there's not much happening during the holidays. Like, company now, at least for me, around here, are really open to like to change their fixed rate for rental, because there's not much happening right now. So if you go to a company that you usually rent, or you bought a lot of stuff, you'd say, hey, can you rent me a discounted X32 for like 2 weeks while my wing is on repair? Sometimes they will give you a deal for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because otherwise it's just sitting at the shop, sitting doing nothing in the storage. So you can probably have a deal there. Just be on the lookout. Just ask the company that the company or store that you're usually dealing with, and maybe they can give you a really good deal on a rental. If it costs you like $150 for a console, you just have to, take it in, do your show, put it back in the case, and send it his way. Sometimes it's worth it more than just to buy a X32 Compact. I hope that answered your question. Ralph got a really good question here. Why not rent a wing? Because, as far as I know, there is not a lot of place where you can rent a wing. Well, at least not in Canada. A lot of people bought them for themselves. A lot of company, like, you can't rent it with an operator. Like, let's say somebody call where I work, they want to have like a wing. I will have to come with the console to babysit it. Otherwise, you probably cannot have the console. A lot of companies seems to work like that with consoles now. Who knows? If you can rent a wing, sure. Just save your show file on the USB stick, load it into the new console, do your thing, save the show file again, load it in your console when it's back from repair, and it will be seamless, like nothing happened. Good luck with that. Do you guys... Come on. I usually have to wait a couple minutes before saying that, but do you guys have any question today? It's time. It's not a really... It's really quiet for you guys, from you guys today. Come on. Another question. Should I abandon the Behringer system and go Allen and Eat? I'm worried that the touchscreen issue will come back again, or something else. I think it's fair to say that the only issue that we saw popping from the wing is bad touchscreen. Nothing else seems to really... I mean, there is the one occurrence of like somebody who had a bad USB card or display that went off, but you know, one-off. If it's just a one-off on many units sell, I'll just take that as like something happened in the manufacturing chain, and it can happen, so don't worry about that. And you know, the same thing will happen to a car. Do you change a car because something break? Like one time something break? No. About the touchscreen, it happened more often, but it's happening less and less. So I would say if you get a fixed or repair or replacement touchscreen for your wing, you'll be good to go as long as you don't break it yourself. If you drop your talkback mic on the screen or something like that, maybe. Otherwise, I don't think touchscreen will be an issue. Mine has been fine for years. 3 years now. Almost 3 years. Oh, so this thing is almost on no more warranty. I hope everything's going to be fine with it. But yeah, I would not go out and eat. I don't like those console. I tried to like them. The UI is not looking that good for me. It sounds okay. You have to pay for extra plugin, which I'm not a fan of. And if you buy some plugin and say one day you buy an SQ5 and you want to switch to an SQ7, you have to buy the plugin again, because if you bought them, you enable them on the console and you cannot take them out. Like once you enable them in a console, you use your key. It's gone. Not a fan of that. I don't know. They don't sound bad, but they don't sound as cool as, let's say, a wing in the DL251. I'm a huge fan of the DL251. I love those preamp. I don't know if you're really not sure about the wing overall and you feel like you want to switch the system, maybe can you wait a little bit maybe and jump on the HD Air. As soon as I'm sure the HD Air are gonna come out at some point. So maybe if you want to upgrade from the wing, maybe 96 Air will be an option. Buy this stuff. Probably way better touchscreen. Probably way better sounding than the wing and the Allen and Eat, and the price will be fairly good. Maybe it's an option. Tony, most US company are not carrying because they are waiting for riders to accept it. Yeah. M32 is the low-end standard. Yeah, I know. But M32 are a really good console. Seriously. Well, M32, X32. I think the M physical interface is better, but it's really fine. Think about it, guys. Let's go back a couple years ago when the only digital option that was available at a reasonable price, and I will quote reasonable price, was an Yamaha M7CL. Those consoles were 25 grand, roughly, Canadian. So for not even a quarter of that, what you get with the wing, it's crazy. What you get with an X32 or M32 back then, that was like 10% of an M7CL, price-wise, it was amazing. It sounded better. It sounded way better. And the feature that you had, you know, the iPhone and everything, the M32 and X32 is groundbreaking. Of course, it doesn't sound like a Midas Pro 2, but you can really get a show done with that thing. Think about it even further away. People were doing show with the gray Yamaha 01V. Not the 96. I'm talking about the gray one with 12 input. Crappiest preamp ever. Digital sounding. Bad EQs. Reverb. And people were getting away with that, so... Hello, Nave. Welcome. Happy holiday, my friend. I don't know. Seriously, yeah, M32 is just fine. If you want to have something that is working, it's not costing a lot of money, and you can afford it yourself, not a rental company, yeah, definitely. Tony, what are you hearing about the CoPilot app becoming usable? I like the UI, but still not reliable for a connectivity standpoint, where mixing station appear bulletproof. I would say, I don't know why. Every time that I tried the CoPilot app, it was really stable. I don't know if you have any problem with that. I don't know what would be the source of it, but it's supposed to work. Never heard about that. So please let me know. Let me know if anybody have any update on the CoPilot app. I know there's some updates that are rolling frequently on a CoPilot app. So is your app up to date, Tony? I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that, because again, I said that many times. If I ever have to go with an iPad only on a show, I will use my X32 core that I have with my DL251. It's in the rack. It's there. If I have to go out and like bring all these small stuff, I just shove that in the back of my car. Don't bring the wing. Every time that I can use the wing, I will use the wing and not an iPad. I don't like to have an iPad. Mixing on iPad to me was a workaround for difficult situation. When I was doing bar gig, when I was doing places that I could not have the console in a decent spot, I was using an iPad. But I just want to use my wing as a console. Not interested in the iPad at all, personally. It's fine to do monitor, like you go out on stage, ring your monitor, and that's it. But otherwise, I like to have my hands on fader. What's your favorite feature of the Behringer wing? Well, there's many. The flexibility of routing that we have in the menu. Like if we go on a channel, not this one, just the fact that you can change the order of the blocks, the fact that you can have that many EQ, that many option in the gate block, and that many compressor option for free or included with the console, plus the effect rack, everything mono or stereo. Man, the amount of feature that you get for that price is crazy. Also, worth notice. I have a Dente card in mine. 64 in and out from there. If I'm working with somebody who's on Yamaha, I can just give him a direct line out of my console into his. He can give me preamp if I ever need to, as long as he's doing the gain on this side. I could use, let's say I want to do monitor with the wing on a Yamaha setup. I can just go here, select my input from Dente. As long as the other guy is doing the gain, I'm fine. I can work with different manufacturer stage box with the console. I don't know many consoles that's doing that. The LN8 is not Dente. If I have the new Shure microphone that are Dente, I could just plug them in and it will work. It's crazy. But that's Dente, you know. It's not only it's not only for this console. It's just the Dente protocol that is implemented in the wing that open up some more stuff. Yeah, Patrick, CoPilot is stable. I haven't had an issue with it lately. Make sure it's up to date. Stay up on new one. I don't know, Tony. I don't have any reason why it would drop, because it seems to be stable for everybody. Otherwise, it will be people will be really vocal about it. I don't know. I don't know why. VTone Audio Production, I should say, is asking, do you ever use parallel compression on vocal bus? No, not really. I usually take my vocal, compress them a little bit, send them all to a bus, and use that bus just as a leveler for the lead vocal. And when the back vocal are kicking in, it's just like turn down everybody at this, so it's just manage the level. This is why I'm using a bus for my vocal. I don't use parallel compression. I saw some people use that. I saw somebody using a distorted 1176 on vocal and just like raising that up a little bit just to give some grit to the vocal. But no, most of the time I don't have time to get there. Let me explain. When I'm doing a live show, because I do mostly live show, before everything sound as good as I want, and I start to implement, like to add stuff, add some crazy like reverb, playing around with the size of my reverb, playing around with maybe parallel compression, the show's over. I don't have time to. I do my sound check, I do my stuff. When people get in the room, I start to mix my show, I start to do my thing, I start to start with the overall PA for the room. After that, tweaking out every single input, mixing my stuff. Sometimes I have, cues to do during that stuff, moving my stuff all the way. I never have time to get there. It's just never happening. So, I don't know. Hold on. I'm just getting rid of spammer here. Sorry. So, no, I never end up using parallel compression or crazy stuff like that. I just never have time to get there. Hard truth. What else? Oh, really interesting from Patrick here. I find CoPilot to be weaker, or was a weaker version than Mixing Station in the early day, but nowadays it's at par. So meaning they're both as good, and CoPilot is free. Tony, please note that the CoPilot app doesn't like other traffic on the internet connection. Use a separate Wi-Fi. Yeah, I will definitely recommend that. Charlie, welcome, my friend. I use a separate network for my audio network that the Wing, which is separate from the video network where the church is streaming on. It's a really good idea. Yeah, separate your network, guys, as much as possible. So Joseph is asking, new firmware? Not yet. No news yet. Happy Christmas, guy. Happy Christmas, Joseph. Happy holidays, whatever you're celebrating, guys. Everybody's welcome here. One of the advantage of the AES50 over Dente, you can remote manage the gain on some remote device. That's cool, but Dente is great too, enabling network connection to the rest of the world. Patrick, actually, with the other consoles, you can manage the preamp gain on other device. Vtone, are there latency issue with the Wing when using parallel compression? I don't think so. As long as you're doing it the way, hold on, let me move my bus. As long as you're doing it this way, where you have parallel compression coming in your block and you're using the mix here, you should not have any kind of weird like phasing latency happening. That's the way I would go for parallel compression. If you are doing bus, like if you are doing it on a bus and versus live vocal, I would like not use that because it could create some bug. But if you want to do parallel compression, just send everything into a bus and use the mix there to make sure that you have absolutely no latency problem. That would be the way to go. No issue with CoPilot and communication with the Wing, the musician, inner monitor, mobile, Wing, tablet, all on one network. Okay. Do you use parallel compression on drum? I've never been a fan of that. Like, the way I work, most of the time I'm doing in-ear and front of house at the same time. So most of the time the way I work is I make the channel sound as best as I can, meaning EQ, compression, everything. I just make the channel sound as good as possible for in-ear and front of house. Sometimes I use bus compression for vocal, but it's only like more like an auto mixer where I can just get like really fast mixing happening, people doing back vocal at the same time. Sometimes it's the lead singer with one back vocal, sometimes the lead singer with 4 back vocals. So that's a lot more energy to deal with. So I just put a compressor on that. I put usually a 1176, something like this. 1176. I make sure that the lead singer doesn't really make the compression needle move, and when people are kicking in all the back vocal, it just go down and it just keep everything under control. Basically, that's my secret for live vocal. I'm getting a lot of compression just to make I'm getting compression just to make my mix more even and less popping out with all my back vocal. I just make it to the same volume. I don't want to really use compression to smash down on stuff. It's just not how I like to mix. I like everything to be clear, and I like that you can hear every single individual input. So I don't try to glue stuff together. Actually, most of the time I try to separate stuff one from another. The only thing that I like to be glued together is my bass drum and bass. I like to have them like bouncing at the same time, but again, another story. It's just a matter of how you like your mix to sound. Parallel compression is not a thing for me. Just try to read what's going on here, guys. Andrew, have you ever recorded a large live performance, 35 plus players? Kinda, in the sense of I recorded a lot of input with the wing. I did a band that was almost 48 input the other day. I recorded that on SD card. That went fine. I did show with way more performer than that. I'm doing a really big, or used to do a really big choir, where everybody has a headset mic, because a lot of people moving around, a lot of section moving around, and for the overall result is just better when people are individually mic'd up. Everybody is level at the same, it's correcting the player error. On that show, I have 50-something people in the choir. 50. We're getting up using a full Dente network of 64 headset mic with the leader, choir's leader, who's not going in the room, but only going into everybody's in-ear monitor. Because yes, everybody in the choir is using in-ear monitor on that one. It's just one mix for everybody in the choir. I also have a band. They don't sing, but it's something like really like a stupid amount of headset, 60 or 64. We're maxing basically the Dente on that show. I'm using a SD11, or was using an SD11 on that one. So I mixed a lot of people together, because you had the choir plus a band, 4-people band, drum, bass, guitar, and a keyboard that was also a band leader. A lot of stuff happening there, but never done that on the wing because pandemic. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know if I will ever do that gig again. I don't know if it has happened again since the COVID hit, but I did that for a couple of years before COVID, and now I'm just moving on to other stuff. I'm busy with work, like too busy with the amount of work that I commit to do. So, I don't know. Latency for parallel bus is not an issue for me because I use the same plugin on parallel bus. They're just off the original bus. Okay, I would use the blend on the compressor for that. It will save you a lot of stuff. Yeah, the EQ and compression blend knob is a cool feature. Joseph, yeah. You don't need to scrap a bus for your parallel compression. You can just use that. Would it be possible to daisy chain an X32 rack after a DL32 for 16 additional input on a single Cat5e from FOH? I believe you could do that. You would go... Hold on. Well, actually, yes, you can do this. As long as you take your DL32, plug it into the X32 rack. After that, in the X32 rack, you assign from, X32... Let me explain the routing signal here. DL32 into port A of your X32 rack. Port B of your X32 rack goes out to the wing. You would need to create a special routing inside the console where your first 32 input will be redirect to the output B, and you will also take 16 of your local preamp from there and send them to the output B. So in the routing menu, kind of like we have on the Wing, you would go, imagine the X32 menu here, not this one. But we go output, you're gonna go AS50B, and this is where you kind of set your block of 8 in your X32. You need to go into the output AS50B, select all your input from A. The first 32 will be your DL32. After that, in the 16 that you have left, you need to select your local preamp from the X32 rack. But I see absolutely no reason why that would not work. Actually, thinking about it, it will work, and you can also have control over the mic preamp if you really want to. Andrew, if you were to record a brass band, 35 player plus, would you recommend going individual mic instrument? Also, would you record with no effects, edit later in DAW, or add effects on the channel? Because you only have 24 user signal on the Wing, you can only have 24 channel that you can apply effects to and send it over. Honestly, I would just do everything in post. For the easier recording situation, if you have 35 player plus, let's say that you're going to use a Dente card to have 64 mono signal out of the console, just record that into your laptop or computer of choice and edit after the fact. Single mic on everything, that way you can have less bleed from everybody. That would be the way to go. Single mic for everybody, or if you have a drum, single mic for every drum. Just close mic everything and blend in post-production, blend in post-production, and that way you will be able to edit some stuff out. Let's say somebody that doesn't play for 20 bar at the beginning of a song, you'll be able to just mute that track and do a volume automation, so when you start to play, it's just slowly fading in. I would do it this way. I'm no recording expert. I know how to do it, but that would be, if I were to do a live show, I would do this, and I would put expander on everybody to keep the stage as clean as possible, and just blend everybody the way I really want them to be blend. Troy, hope you're doing well. I seen one of your video how you can change the USB cassette player to tape reel. I can't remember how that was done. Could we see that again? Thanks. Oh, it's been a long time. Hold on. What's going on here? Let's dive into this together. Here, how do you change that? I think it's not the same thing, right? Hold on. It's been a long time since I've done this. I remember it was an indication of something. I just don't remember what. Do I need to drive to do this? Do I need to put a drive in the... Help me out, guys. I look like I know what I'm doing. I essentially rely on you guys to remember all these small information. Okay, let me pop that in. Let's see what's going on here if I have a USB key in the console. Okay, I'm a 61 gig file here. I have this show. How do you do that? And what was the purpose of it again? I don't remember. I remember what you're talking about, Troy, but I don't remember what it was. I know there was a reason for it. Was it this one? No, it's not an SD card. It's not here. Was it in repeat mode? I remember, sorry, I'm reading you guys. I remember there was a way to do this, but I don't remember why. And it was an indication of something happening. I remember that. Let's say that I'm doing this. I'm using this file. I'm gonna add, this is just my friend. This is a live show from my band, from one of the band that I work with called Hook. Sorry, I cannot see the screen with all these lights. Hold on. Settings. Was it the 4-track that was changing it? It's been a long time, but I remember what you're talking about. I know there was a way or a purpose for that. It's just really far, really far away in my head. Is that playing just for fun? Can I play this? Yes, I can. Let's see if I can get something out of my friend from the band Hook. Can I do it this way position? Oh, really nice with the small knob here in the bottom. Can I? Yeah. Some electric guitar from my friend. Oh, I had to stop. No. Oh, doesn't sound good. That's a left, right from a console. Or is there anything on this? It's just for archive purposes, right? We don't talk about it. Okay, moving on. Patrick said, setting on SD can show song list or real tape, believe, but not the USB. I don't remember, but maybe it's in the here that you can see the VU meter. Oh no, it's in the SD card. You can see the VU meter, or you can see the tape reel. It's not in the USB. The USB is only a cassette, but it's here in the SD card option where you can see. Right now, I have like 10 version of my TalkBack going in there. I have no SD card in the back. This is why you see it this way, but there was a way to change it from here. I think it's in the setting when you show meter. There you go. It was show meter versus the tape icon. It's not in the USB. It's in the SD card settings. But we're looking at the wrong place. It's fine. Always good to have a refresher. Thanks for reminding me that, Troy. I forget about some stuff, honestly. There's so much going on to this console, and so much that has changed over the time. Think about it. I'm talking to the original owner here. People from 2020. On firmware, I remember firmware 1.4, 1.04. And damn, that console evolved since the last 3 years. Even with everything that happened, that console evolved. We have way more plugin now. The UI is different. The patch menu, still not perfect, but it's working. I understand it more, so it's helping me out to understand it better and to explain it a little better. But that console has moved. Andrew, would you travel with the Wing? We are planning on a tour in 2024, 18 concerts, outdoor and indoor. Do you think the Wing can handle a trip overseas, or it's overkill? If you're going overseas, rent one in the country where you're going. You'll save the fee of bringing something that heavy over in a plane or a boat. The rental cost will be cheaper. Versus just rent one. Well, the shipping cost will be cheaper than just renting one overseas, and you just come back with your stuff. Okay. By the say of Patrick, parameters went from 9,000 to almost 26,000. And I want to know, Patrick, are these numbers true, or you're just averaging? Because I know you would know the answer to this one. I want to know if your parameters count is true or not. Because you know that kind of information. I would not, but I know you know these things. Absolutely true. So, okay, imagine, guys, 9,000 parameter, which is already a lot, up to almost 26,000 parameters. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of option. It's crazy. Think about, the other day, well, actually, yesterday, I was talking with somebody that I just met, a guy that I was told is doing sound in a church, in a party. The guy started with the whole Yamaha 2404. That was a console with, think about it, a lot of feature. You had a gain, you had a low, mid, and bass EQ, no parametric at all, just low, mid, and bass, fixed frequencies, 2 auxes that were pre, 2 auxes that were post, and your pan. That's it. This is all you had to do a show. No compression, no nothing. Nowadays, I will never do a show without a compressor. Not even in the analog world, I would bring a compressor for the few that still exist. Analog compressor. But yeah, hold on. Let me open up that comment, Patrick. So it's crazy the amount of stuff that we have access to now. We should feel happy for that. I mean, I remember back in the day where I thought it was a lot to have a console with 24 auxes, like in Heritage 3000. So, yeah. Can you explain, Patrick, to us what is the command line that you post there? Can you just give us an idea? Because I don't really understand code in the sense of, if you explain it to me, I'm pretty sure I can understand what's happening there. I know, it's just text information that the console read and it understands it, or it gives a command. I understand that, but I would not know what that code line is without some explication. Andrew, if cost was not an issue to travel with, British Airlines has a lot of leeway with non-profit. They don't charge for oversized tuba, example tuba. WAPI is a C application interface to Wing. So it's command that the console can read. Gotcha. Okay, to answer Andrew, yes. Just get a good case. Make sure that nothing's gonna hit your screen, because this is I don't want to say weak, but most likely to get damaged part of the console. Make sure that you have something to cover your screen, and you'll be good to go. To hide the actual binary, hard to play with, data, one straight list of tokens, name after commands. Okay. I kind of understand what we're doing here, but Patrick, you would need to explain this in a upcoming interview where we spend a live together. I know we did it once in a lifetime ago. Sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want you at some point to just join us over like a live chat, and we can just like talk over this and just explain to each other what do you work with, the coding and stuff like that. I'm sure a lot of people have questions about this. Yeah, we'll do that in a live chat together. I'm sure a lot of people have questions for you, or questions that you can't answer, that we can dive into a little more complex stuff behind the console, for sure. Do they have screen protector for the Wing touchscreen? I don't think so. I think you would need to make one. Like take a piece of foam, make sure it fit over these knobs, and the one that my overlay is blocking. But take a piece of foam, make sure to put it here, and make sure nothing's gonna be in the way. Pancho, welcome back, my friend. Good to have you around. Today's live stream can be a little longer. If you guys have any question or stuff like that, like how was LA? It was fun. Spent a lot of time in the sun, or actually a lot of time inside, but just to see the sun and green trees around me by the window was already a way more enjoyable experience than what's going on with my situation outside. It's been snowing for the last couple of days, so probably gonna have to shove some stuff out of my driveway again, some snow. So yeah, definitely would enjoy LA a little more, but don't worry, guys. I probably have a video coming with that. Actually, I filmed in LA for over 17 hours of footage. I exported everything yesterday. I have over 17 hours of footage. I don't know how I'm gonna make that into a few minute vlog, because I don't want it to be like 45 minutes. Nobody will watch that. We'll see. But there's probably a video where I'm just gonna trim down, like go really lean on the meat there, and try to give you guys an idea of how was LA, how was the trip. I didn't have much time to spend outside the studio there, outside Dorian's studio. But okay, I had a talk with Dorian since the last live stream, and I can probably give you guys reveal some stuff about what happened there. I will get back to the question in the chat in a few seconds. I was invited by Dorian Wright, the son of Gary Wright, that you probably heard his song Dreamweaver. Gary Wright built himself a studio in his house in LA where he worked with a lot of people. I don't know how in the detail everything worked, but Gary worked with George Harrison. He was in Ringo Starr band at some point, and he just accumulated a lot of stuff, tape, old vintage instrument. And Gary himself also was a pioneer in a lot of stuff that is synth based, the Moog stuff, the keytar. I don't want to say anything wrong here, but I believe he invented keytar or one of the first few, if not the first, to have like a keyboard on a strap and go do his like thing, keyboard live. I don't know much about this gentleman's career because I'm just too young. It was just before my time and never really had the chance to time-wise experiment with his stuff or know about him a lot. There's not a lot of footage of him on YouTube to watch. I only had to ask his son Dorian to explain me what happened there. But Gary had a studio built in his house in LA. And he, after some time, used it less, and at some point it just became a room for storage. Dorian decided to bring back his studio to life, and to be the master control of that studio, he bought a wing, because the wing is it's a really good console. If you want to do like within budget stuff with the wing, you can. He also has a lot of cool outboard gear there that we connected to the console, that we like bring all together. We made a functional studio out of almost nothing. When I arrived there, like, there were a bunch of cable on the floor from the patch bay. We just didn't know how to connect everything. I was looking around for everything, for every piece of the puzzle that I could find, because this place used to be a real recording studio, fully functional 24-track recording studio, patch bays in the wall and everything. And basically the puzzle was totally dismantled. No more patch. It was like took apart and everything. So I basically start to dig and start to find answer, because I knew what I was looking for. And I start to dig and dig around, and I found some piece of the puzzle, being creative on some stuff. Found gear, because they had a lot of gear, they had a lot of cable in there. Find the missing piece of the puzzle. Got rid of the patch bay because we don't really need it anymore. I reconnect everything in the wall because there were some wall panels. We were fishing wire through the floor to make sure that everything is clean. And Dorian bought a lot of mic that were missing for him to record drum. But we end up basically with a live drum room, a bass setup, his father Fender Rhodes connected, 2 Neve 1066 preamp, 2 Chandler 1 preamp, some vintage 1176 Rev F, some DBX, the 165, the 162. And I just connect everything. Oh, he had also a Lexicon Model 200, really good sounding reverb. I implement that. I just connected everything into a Cubase session, so he can basically use the wing channel strip as insert, use all the outboard gear that he had, and everything is set up all the time. So we can just turn around, grab a bass, enable the bass track, press record, do some bass, put that back on the rack, move over to a Rhodes. He has 2 Rhodes, 73 and 88. So the 88 is there, flip of a button, you switch to the 73. The 73 that he has is really funny because it's the one that was used on the song Dreamweaver. Not the one that you see in the video, it's the one that was used in the studio, because for some reason, I don't remember exactly, but Dorian told me that this one was a specially made Rhodes with a different pitch or different length of, I don't remember, but it was a little higher up pitch than the other one. I don't know what's the reason, but if anybody is a Rhodes freak in the chat, you can probably tell me. But we basically started from nothing, pretty much a storage room, and build a studio in 3 days. I spent 45 hours in that studio just getting everything working, and we, at the end, it's basically start with me opening up the door, moving some stuff around, rolling cable to where we finally set and record a small 2-minute loop with everything, and everything is working now. And everything is working. Now the studio is fully functional. It's in LA, it's there. It's probably gonna be open for people that want to record in there at some point. I don't know yet if Dorian's gonna be open for business soon or anything. I will leave that up to him to let me know if he's open to public. If you guys are in the LA area and looking for a good place to record with a wing, we're using the preamp in the back of the console that are really good sounding, the Neve, the Chandler drum kit over there. If Dorian is open to business, I will let you guys know. But yeah, this is basically what the vlog will be about, because this is basically what I did for I went out 5 days, 2 days traveling and 3 days in the studio. We had a really good time. Like, also did some trip around LA to get some gear fixed, went to the Hollywood sign, it was cool. It was cool, and I hope I'll do that again. Now that the studio is set up, I'm probably going to go back and visit sometime within the next year, if it ever happened. I don't know. You never know. Knock on wood, you never know what life's going to give you in a positive way. If I'm too busy, I probably won't have time to go to LA, but I wish I will make some room in my schedule to go to LA and revisit that studio, because this place was awesome. Actually, this place is awesome. Okay, enough of the LA trip. What's going on in the chat? Really good question here from Neve. In the matrix page, we're gonna go there. I'm just gonna go matrix here. We're gonna use main one. I'm gonna select matrix and I'm gonna go in the main menu. Here in the matrix input, there is a direct 1 and direct 2 in the matrix input. Can you explain what is this for? Here, you can select to have a source that you send directly to this matrix. Sorry, I got something stuck in my eyes. There we go. The reason for that is you can take your main mix, send it into a matrix, and also send an input or a source only in that matrix. The best use case scenario would be a stereo channel of crowd mic that you take your main mix that you're doing, or you create a bus, or you create a mix, mostly from a main mix that you send out to be broadcast. And because you don't want to have crowd mic into your house mix, you just had it from there. Let's say that I'm going to take channel 39. Let's say that I had that as a crowd mic, a pair of crowd mics. You could create an input there, enable that, set the level for that, set the level for your crowd mic, and your main mix, it will be added to your mix that you're sending into that matrix. So take your main out 1, send it into matrix like I'm doing right now, and you can add an input. The other option that you can have from here is, let's say that you're doing a esports event like I've did. Let's say that you're doing a house mix for people in the room and you want to have commenter. You take your commenter, you put them in a bus, because you have... can you send a bus into a matrix? Okay, let's say that you have then 2 commenter, because I did that on Yamaha, but it will be the same idea here. Let's say that you take your commenter, let's say 2 commenters, add them here, take your channel, take another channel here, let's say 34, post fader. If you were to have commenter or sound from another source that you can send in there, it will work. Yes, you can send into a bus into a matrix. But you cannot send it from here. You cannot select a channel. Well, actually, you can only select a channel, a aux in, which is basically your 48 channel, because that's 40 plus 8 plus the AES EBU. So if you already want to go with a bus, you could do the loop trick, which would be to send out of the AES EBU with a small XLR, come back in the AES EBU, and create a loop. So you could take a bus and send into there, but really complex routing, you don't really need to do that anyway. But basically, those are those matrices are there for you to add something that you send into a matrix. I hope that answered your question. Hansfrick 5, can you use a custom control button to apply scene or snippet or what it's called? Snap file? No, it's not there yet. It's gonna happen when the show control stuff start to deploy. You guys will probably be will have added option to the custom control section, but right now it's just empty. Wait for it, guys. It's in the way. It's not a secret that Behringer have been really hard at work with some stuff, so it's in the way. Wait, it's coming. Wait, it's coming. It's gonna happen. Show control is gonna happen. You guys will have option to recall snippet or snap or other option. I don't know what they will come up with, but it's coming. Just hold on. Wait, you don't want it uncooked. We want to make sure that it's fully cooked before you guys get it. It's gonna come. What else did I miss? I'm still waiting, not really hoping for one though, for a hardtop protection for the screen, for the desk saver. They keep promising one, but no show for 3 years now. I don't know. Did they, Patrick? I never heard of that. To the dear person who I'm not sure how to read his name, I will asking me, is it possible to send you a scene from my wing to get you to tell me possible improvement? Yes. The only thing is I would not really do that for free. I will put that into the one-on-one consultation. I do offer one-on-one consultation with exactly the same setup that you've seen here, but we can do this over Zoom or over FaceTime or over Facebook, whatever video servicing call that you prefer to use. We can do this, and I'm asking 24 USD an hour over PayPal to do these kind of requests, because this is not really at large. This is really personal stuff, one-on-one for your setup that may not apply for other stuff. So it's not, it will only make sense for you. So I cannot, make the rest of the world profit of that, or enjoy the rest of that. So this is why I would put this under one-on-one consultation. So please, if you're interested in that, send me an email. My email is in the description down below. I'll do my best to try to answer your question from the live stream here for free. But if we start to dig into like personal stuff that will apply to everybody, I ask for private consultation for this. Sorry. Do you have experience using Cakewalk DAW with the wing? Absolutely not. Never used Cakewalk ever. Actually, I use a lot of DAW, but Cakewalk, never. Pretty sure it's kind of the same thing as the other, or Cakewalk is like Ableton Live and it's a different piece. But if it's just a regular DAW, you can come here and your setup is Cakewalk in the DAW. No, it's not. But you could create yourself. Let me change that preset. You could create yourself a custom DAW, settings with just 2 expander, enable DAW. You could basically create Mackie extender into Cakewalk and use the console as Mackie extender in your DAW. That will work. This is why the empty preset is there. Just make sure that you use the right stuff and build it, but you have option to use Mackie MCU or Mackie HUI emulation. So if you start to dig a little bit around, you can probably make yourself a really good convincing setup to use with Cakewalk. Any news on the Wing Compact? Nope. Didn't heard anything about that. Yes, Desk Saver did. Okay, so it's not the Behringer guys. It's a company called Desk Saver that will do a plastic cover. Okay, I think are they the one that do one for the X32? It's probably that. Okay. And did it again. Okay, so yeah, it's probably in the work. Tobias is asking, why does my headphone mix sound different to the solo sound on the main bus? Let me ask you, what is your solo source? If we go here in the console, I'm pressing the view on the top left next to the USB, and you have your option here. You have 2 options, one for monitor A and one for monitor B. The way you set monitor A or B is on every individual channel. When you press home, you have option to select if you want it in headphone or in the box here to be monitor A or B. This is how they are divided. If we go back here, you have different option for setting for your headphone. You have the solo. When you press solo like I'm on right now, I'm listening to one source. I'm listening to my USB 1 and 2 because this is my background music, so I can have something that sounds similar to what you guys hear. And also I'm blending that in with hold on, not the source select. I want to blend that in with the source mix. So right now, if with the source mix turned all the way down, I'm only hearing my solo source, which is my background music. And basically the source mix is going to take whatever that you have in here and blending it with the stuff that you have in solo. So right now, if I'm putting this to 0 dB, meaning no attenuation or no amplification of the signal, I'm going to hear my main out plus something that I have in solo. If I take my solo out, I'm only hearing my voice. You can see that my solo is out because the solo clear doesn't flash anymore. But if I solo it back, I hear my background music. So it will give you solo option there. If you want to go into the solo B, which is not the same output as the headphone are out of solo A. The solo B is another output that you can assign. So let's say that you have, or like I did at the Dreamweaver Studio, we're using solo B for the speakers, for the listening studio speakers, and A for headphone. I'm also using a bus to send to the headphone, but you guys will see that in the video. I don't need to talk about that now. But it's a different output. If we go in the routing menu and we go here, no, actually output, we go here and we go in the monitor section, we can take our monitor. Hold on. I'm gonna go local. This, let's say that I wanted to, hold on. Aux out. By default, this is the configuration that we have. We have in 7 and 8, aux 7 and 8 in the back of the console, and the headphone are physically linked together. They cannot be changed. They are physically linked together, as you can see by the little headphone logo here. Solo A will be monitor 1 left and right. Solo B will be monitor 2 left and right. You can change that if you want. If you, let's say, like I did at the Dreamweaver Studio, we have local output XLR. Right now, it's on that show, it's main out left and right. It goes out into the 7 and 8 in the back, but I can change that to be Solo B. So let me make sure that that is stereo for real. So solo, monitor 2 left and right, monitor 2 left and right. Okay. Those are 2 different solo bus. Camera is not focusing. Hold on. There we go. So those are 2 different solo bus. You need to assign them the way that you want to use them. You can just assign solo 1 to everything, solo A to everything, or use A or B depending on how you want your console to work. But it should be the same thing. If you solo something and it doesn't sound the same, I don't know what to tell you. But please let us know how your setup is config. We can probably change that really quick if it's not correctly. Let us know, Tobias, how we can help you with this quickly. What's going on in the chat? Cakewalk is not part of a proposed preset. We're probably 90% compatible with MCU. Yeah, you probably just need to enable a MCU interface in your DAW, and it will probably go. Can you turn? Okay, this is really interesting. Can you connect the GPIO to a relay that can turn on or off speaker or amplifier? GPIO are the 1/4-inch socket that you have on the right of the console, and those are basically relay or input relay. Go read the documentation. I need to do a video on GPIO, but it's a really complex thing if you never use them, and probably a lot of people here will never use them. So, yeah, go check that out. Go check the manual for this. But after, I'm gonna do a quick refresher with Patrick, and I will probably be able to do a video on GPIO because I don't think there's one out there. So if you ever want to use GPIO, stick around to the channel so you guys can know what's going on with this. Yeni kan relate to Hi Andy, good to have you around. It's solid state, so you have to switch e-relay that would switch your amp. Okay, let me ask you guys. Hi. Hi, Andy. Let me ask you guys. Let's say that I have some QSC speaker, you know, the one that have the little Phoenix connector in the back, the 3-pin. Usually it's green 3-pin. Can I use GPIO on these speaker to mute them? Because some of them have volume control over these connection. Can I use a GPIO to, let's say, I mute my PA before turning my system down? Can I enable a button, and I don't know how I would do it. Can I use a GPIO that will cut the volume on all my speaker, turn my system down, let the speaker on, or turn them on or off with a GPIO? I believe this is the purpose of these things, right? Let me know, guys. I want to know, because it could be really useful for some people to run a 1/4-inch cable adapted to the Phoenix connector on the back of certain amplifier or a certain sound system. You just hard mute your system physically on the back of the speaker, turn everything off, power up your console again. Once everything is powered up, to avoid pop, you can just unmute it again and the PA is really open and fully wide open. Let me know if that's something that can be done with the GPIO. I would really like to know that, because it will give me another reason to maybe use them. Maybe I could, yeah. Let me know, guys. Let me know for those of you who are in the know. Yeah, for sure, if the speaker amp has possibly to mute from external, otherwise a relay between the output cable will do. Okay. Thanks for the information, Andy. Okay, now for real, guys. We've been going at this for an hour, 20 minutes. Send some question my way, otherwise I will call the stream off for today. Send some question my way. I'm almost running out of coffee. You can get that relay to turn automatically on or off 2 seconds before or after you turn on the console. Turn on off the console. Okay. You can enable a button to control GPIO. Yes, I know that. The GPIO will then command a relay, and that relay can switch power stuff. Main speaker. What you'll be missing is kind of timer between steps. Okay. Okay. But let's say that I have a processor of some kind. I could use a hard mute with that, right? All I would need to know is what will be the state of the GPIO when I turn down the console. When I turn off the console, if I turn it back on, will it be open or will it be off? On or off? Will the GPIO status remain the same? Because if it does, you can just create a button on another layer of your custom control. Let's say use the last page, I think it's 16. Go all the way up to page 16, create a hard mute there, and call it a day. Maybe it's an option for you to turn down your system. And if somebody wants to turn on your system without you, it will have a hard time. Stems Recording Studio, thank you. For how long have you been a member? I don't recall you being a member of the channel. Thank you. If you guys want to support me in what I do and do like Stems Recording Studio, try to become a member of the channel. If you need one-on-one help with, like I said a few minutes ago, if you want one-on-one help with your session, your file like that, please subscribe as a super member to the channel, because every super member of the channel have 1 hour of free consultation every month. It comes with your subscription. So it's cheaper for you if you want to have multiple session with me to just be a super member of the channel. Think about it. Your GPIO always fall back to factory state, so open when you switch off. So, okay, so I would need to do it the other way around then. If I could tell my controller that open is the way to be mute, I could open up my system, close the GPIO, unmute my PA, turn it back to open, so we'll be muted, and then turn off my console and everything and do the same thing in and out. So if I could have a processor that could do this, yeah, could be fun. Could be really cool to have some stuff to play with there. I'll think about this. I will think about this. There's definitely a way to do something. There's definitely a way to do something with the GPIO. Maybe I can control some lights here. I could set up probably. You guys can probably help me with a Raspberry Pi to turn on or off some stuff, some lights in the back. Maybe at the beginning of the show, I can just like flip on a GPIO and all my whole setup will come to life. That would be fun. Okay. Yes, you can take a relay between what you want to protect, your solid state relay into GPIO. Then you can take a relay with no contact and contact and normally close contact to it. Okay. I understand how to do that. I know enough about electronics to probably fiddle with this. I use a GPIO pedal for some of my automation program, easy punch in and out. So, okay, Patrick, let me ask you, could you trigger like a record without your program? Can you do something like this from the wing? Can you tell the wing to use a GPIO sensor to press like a record button? Question here for from Step Studio. When I do live multiple recording and transfer the file to my DAW, the recording are broken up into multiple files. Is there a way to record and only have continuous file? I would need to ask the people in the know here about that. So Patrick might be a really good reference, and Andy is probably a good reference for that. Don't forget to put a diode in parallel to your relay cards to protect the GPIO port. Okay, so to avoid having electricity coming back into it, so okay. Maybe I'll start to fiddle around with that. But I got a good one for you guys. Do you think it's possible to do this? Maybe Patrick's got a software that can recompile these files to be one file, because you know when you record it with the SD card, your file are basically 32 channel waves file that are in order. They usually start at 1 and end up at whatever, how many gigs or file that or time that you recorded. And there is I think it's a bin file that will basically tell the order of these file to your software. So maybe Patrick has a software that can just realign these files for you. Otherwise, you can just import them back in your DAW. What I personally do is just import them one after the other in my DAW, and it's just working. There are utilities that explode recombine these. Okay. Is it one of your software to do that, Patrick? Hans, can you turn on the wing with the GPIO and turn off with the shutdown mode? Oh, really good question. I don't think so. Maybe not in this firmware. When I record to add card, I get multiple file SSD. That's okay. You mean on an SD card? Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I'm running out of coffee here. We'll go over Stem's question. Yeah, SD. All right, SDD. Actually, I will have to go out and buy some SSD today. So it's now 3 o'clock. Today the store in Canada closed at 5 because it's the Boxing Day. Every store is only open from 1 to 5. So I'll probably let all the special go out the door, and I will just go to Canada Computer and grab some SSD for a friend today. I'm rebuilding a laptop. So at 3 o'clock we'll answer Stem's question and make sure after that we sign out. So Stems, go check out, it will be a shameless plug also for Patrick here. Go check out Patrick's website, x32ram.com, x32ram.com. He has some wonderful software that will integrate with the Wing and the X32. Also, if you are a Reaper user, Patrick's got some really cool stuff that integrate the Wing with Reaper. Go check out his website for more information, x32ram.com. On this note, guys, it's 3 o'clock. We've been going at this for an hour and a half. In the worry of me to not make this too boring for you to watch in playback, because a lot of you guys watch in playback. Thank you very much for watching. On this note, guys, it's been fun. It's been a fun year. We had a good run together, and trust me when I say we're not done yet. 2024 is gonna have 2023. Sorry, I'm already a year in advance. 2023 is gonna be a fun year. We're gonna have a lot of new stuff coming. Happy shopping. Get me a 2 terabyte one. Actually, on a side note, I was thinking about rebuilding my NAS with SSD this time to do some video editing, and there is no way I'm gonna do that. The cost of 2 terabyte or 4 or 8 terabyte SSD is so expensive. There's no way I'm gonna go there. I actually, for the same price of a 8 terabyte SSD, I can get a 20 terabyte NAS drive from WD. So I'm probably just gonna buy like 20 to 60 terabyte drive, put that in my NAS computer and call it a day. And I'll be good with 4. I have 4 space left for a hard drive in my NAS. I would probably drop in some 20 terabyte ones and call it a day. Yeah, it's $500 each. 8 terabyte SSDs or 20 terabyte hard drive. But with 60, let's say I'm doing 420 terabyte hard drive in RAID Z1 using ZFS, I will be good with 60 terabyte of storage. I'll be good for a long time with that. Until I get that many hour of video footage backed up, it's probably not gonna happen. Anyway, on that note, I have to go get a hard drive for a friend. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. I say this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being that many people. We capped up to 20 people today. You have no idea how much that's warmed me up. Always fun to have you guys around. Special thanks to all the members. Special thanks to everybody in the chat right now that's always there to answer your question. You guys know who you are. I'm not gonna name everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. On that note, 2023 has been a really good year for me. 2022 has been a really good year for me. I cannot wait for 2023 to see what's going to come up. Life is good. Don't give up. Until the next one, please take care of yourself, and I see you all next year. See you guys.